Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been a little while since I've uploaded. Today I'm going to show you how to create my Eiffel bracelet. This reminded me of the Eiffel Tower, at least the middle design did, so that's why I named it Eiffel. But you need 250 bands total. You can do a different color here in the center for that look, or all one color for these two looks. I'm going to do all one color in today's video. But the breakdown of the bands, on this one there is a clear pink right there in the center. You will need 24. You will need 96 of the pink and blue color band here. If you do the two color version, then you would just need 48 of where the orange is and 48 of where the white is. You will also need 94 of where the white is here, and 36 of the navy blue that's tucked in there. You see it more in person, I would say. It's the green one on this one. So I'll have all that written down below in case you need to reference back to it. I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's go ahead and grab our bands and one C-clip and let's get started. To make this bracelet, you will need to have at least 5 bar pins wide. I have another 5 set up in front of those where the long blue bases are to get a longer bracelet. I don't have a video showing the 5 aligned setup. I do have one showing how to set up 4 aligned, and I also have a 5 staggered position setup. So you can check either one of those videos if you don't know how to do the setup, and I'll have that link down below for you. So the first color we're going to decide on is the navy blue in this bracelet here. I am going to use this green. And my voice is a little raspy, so forgive me, you guys. But we're going to start by just laying one single one here on the very center pin for when we close it up. And now we are simply going to go straight up the loom. Now for the 2 loom lengths like I have, we are going to lay a total of 24. So you won't be going completely down to the very end. So starting from the first one that we laid, lay 24 of these. So you will have one at the end where there's nothing laid. That's where your last one should stop. So take a second and push all of those down, and then we can lay the next layer. So now you're going to decide if you want to use one color, like I have the pink and the blue, or you can do the orange and white version here. I'm going to use all one color and stick to red, but that is the color you're going to want to choose right now. If you're doing 2 colors, the color you're going to first choose is where the white is, so the very center. I'm going to use red, and we're going to start by laying 2 horizontal bands right in the center, like so. If you're going to do this version, you're now going to choose whatever color you want where the orange is. Like I said, I'm going to stick with one color. But if you are doing that version, you're going to lay that right now. And you're going to lay horizontal. And then straight. And then we'll go ahead and repeat on the left side as well. I usually do one side at a time. But for this video, I'm going to do it like this. Like so. We'll come up to the next row. And whatever color you used right here will always be the 2 in the center. So I will lay 2 horizontal ones again. We are not going to lay the bands like we did here, like the L. I call it the L band. We'll skip the next, come up to the next row, lay that same color. And now we will do those L bands again. Horizontal and straight up. Repeat on the left. Like so. Again, if you're doing the 2 color version, make sure that these bands right here match whatever color you used right here. Come up to the next row. And we will always do 2 horizontal bands like this If you wanted to even just lay all of those and go up, you can do that. And then come back in and fill these in. It's up to you. So I laid my 2 horizontal. We're going to come up to the next row, lay them again. And now this time we will lay our backwards L and regular L. This is what it is looking like. So it is a little bit faster, and I'll show you. If you just go like this and lay all of them first. This is how I originally was doing it. Get all of these laid, and then we'll come back and fill it in. We are going to lay these all the way up, but we are not going to lay them on the very last pin, and I'll show you that when I get there. So that's where the last one will go. Oh, I'm really raspy, sorry. Do not lay 2 horizontals on that very last one. So where the last straight one ends, do not lay anything there. And then we will come back to where we left off with our L's, and we will continue filling it in. So you can see where my last one ended. So now we'll come up here, and that's where our next one will start. So right here, there should always be a space in between each L. I said in the beginning that we were going to do both sides at the same time. I guess I lied because now I am sticking to one side at a time. I apologize. In the end, it just seemed like it's a little easier to just do it this way. Now your last one should end like this, where it is aligned with your last center horizontal one. So don't lay anything past that. And then come to the other side and match it with the right side. So this is where the last one was on this side. You can see we laid one there. So come over here and we will finish this side. Okay, so I've just laid my last one. This is what your loom should be looking like. So now I would take a second, go through and carefully push all of those down. And when I'm done, I'll come back and show you what we're going to do next. So now you're going to want to decide what color you want to use where my white is. And I'm going to use purple for that. And this time I am going to say that we're going to stick to one side because we lay a group of 3 separate bands for each like section, and it's just easier to work on one side. So the first thing we're going to do, starting right here on the second to last pin, or second pin in, we will lay 1 straight one. Then we will lay 1 horizontal and straight. So it makes like that zigzag. From there, you're going to come over to the left, and that's where we will start our next one. Straight. Let me show you like this. So straight, horizontal, straight. So you can see we have a little zigzag there, zigzag here, and that's what we will do all the way up. So wherever it ends, just come over and that's where you start again. Or another way of looking at it, there should be a space in between each little zigzag. So I think this part is pretty easy. Just keep double checking, make sure you're not like starting from this pin. Like I said, there should always be a space in between each. I keep wanting to call it a puzzle piece for some reason, but each zigzag. On the very last one, which is where I am at right now, we will not lay the last one. So the one going straight would have technically been the last one I'm going to lay, but we are just going to start with that horizontal one, and it should look like that. Okay, so we're going to come to the left side and repeat the same thing. So you'll start on the second pin here, straight, horizontal, and straight. And we will do exactly the same thing all the way up the loom. This is the last one on my left side. So remember, you end with the horizontal one. You do not lay a straight one. And this is what it should look like at the bottom of your loom. Okay, so you will notice that we have some bands left over from the color that we just laid. And that's because we need to lay some triple cat bands. I know it's not the funnest thing to do, especially when you have fingernails, but that's what we're going to do. So we are going to start on the second pin, so not on the corner. That's our first one. Skip that. Come to the second, and that's where our first one will go. There's many ways you can do a triple cat band, so however you find the easiest. Sometimes I may use my hand and my hook. I may place it there on the pin. I pull it. I use my fingernail to pull the top back like that. I hold it and then I flip it over the pin, let it go. I do that again. I use my fingernail to just pull that top band back. Then I have both of it grasped and flip it over. That's probably tricky if you're not used to doing it that way. We're going to skip this next one. So we're going to be placing a cat band on every other pin. So skip this, come up to this one. You can also do it like this. You can use your hook, wrap it around 3 times, grab the entire triple cat band, which is hard for me with fingernails, and place it on. So like I said, second pin is where we started. Skip, cat band, skip, cat band. So we are going to do that on all of the centers, including the very last pin. So I'm going to get my cat bands on there. Make sure you lay one on this very last one right here as well. I'll get my right side done and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have all of mine laid on the right side. As you can see, I have one on that last one there too. Make sure you have one on every other row. And then go ahead and repeat doing that on the left side, starting on the second row right here. Just like we did on the right side. So I'll get all of my left side capped and I will be right back. Okay, so if you're not caught up, go ahead and hit the pause button. I have all of my cap bands on. And now you're going to decide what you want for the color where my navy blue is in there. I'm going to use black. And we're basically going to be laying an upside down V on all the rows where this long space is. we're going to be filling that with an upside down V. So we're not going to lay anything on the first row. We'll come up to the second row. I always like to start on the left, and we'll lay a diagonal band going up into the center, and then the same on the right side, like this. So we won't lay anything on this row here, so skip one row, come up to the next row, and that's where we will lay our next one. Like so. As I said, it's where the space is. So you can see that my next space is right here. Or you can just look at where your last one started, skip a pin, and that's where the next one starts. And we will do this all the way up the loom. I didn't like how that band felt. It felt a little stretched out. And we will be laying one on the very last row. So right here, we do want to lay one right here connecting to the very end of the last band. So that's what it should look like. And now you will notice you have some of those bands left over. And that is because we need to do triple cap bands again. I'm sorry. But on the center of those V's, we will be putting a triple cap band, just like we did with my purple. The center pins can be a little harder to get it on for me, so I use my hook to kind of help me get that cap band on there. And again, it is a triple cap band that is needed for this. So wrap it 3 times, and like I said, you can wrap it around your hook and apply it, whatever's easier for you. So I'm going to get all of mine capped off of camera. It's just a little bit easier for me, and I will meet you right back here when I'm done. Alrighty, so I have all of my cap bands done. So now we are going to turn our loom around so that the openings are facing us, and we can start the looping process. So the first thing that we're going to be looping are our zigzag bands on the side, and for me that's my purple. So we'll start by going into the cap bands, and I'm going to just work on the left side for now. So we'll start on this first one here. The looping, I would say this is an easy design, but the looping can be a little tricky if you are new to looming because the bands, a lot of them are not going back to their original self. And you'll see as I go along. So this first one, we're going to go inside this cap band here, push back and grab the top horizontal purple band. And that is going to go straight up like so. And now we're going to come over here to the straight purple band, and we're going to loop that up to the same pin that we just looped the other one to. So there's one band you have to move out of the way. You're going to grab your straight purple one, and you're going to loop that diagonally over to the left like so. That one was a little bit different because there was only 2 bands that we have to loop. From here on out, there will be 3. So we'll come up to this next cap band. Push the cap band out of the way and grab the top band that's in there. And we're going to loop this down and diagonal right here. So just be careful not to drop the band. And you're going to loop it down and diagonal to the right. Like so. We'll go back in that same cap band, and this one will go straight. And then we'll come over to this one right here, and that one will go diagonally to that same pin there. And that's what we will do all the way up. I know it can be a little bit challenging if you're new to looming because they're not going back to their original pins, but we always start where the cap band is. So we'll come right here. We'll push this cap band out of the way, grab the top band that's under it, and we will loop this down and diagonally to the right. Go back in the cap band and grab the next top layer. That will go straight. Come over here to this band here, and this will go diagonally to the left. Where the other one went, right there. Come up to the next cap band and we will continue doing this. So the first one goes down and diagonally to the right. The second one will go straight to the pin above it. And then the third one will go diagonally left. So you can slow this down at any time if it gets confusing or if you forget where it's going to go. I just kind of count it in my head as 3 steps. So we do first diagonal down, second goes straight, and then third one goes diagonally to the same pin that we took the other one to. And we will just keep repeating that all the way up. And this is what it should be looking like. So I'm going to come back to the start and we'll do the same thing on the right side. So we'll start in this cap band here. And this first one we only have 2 bands to loop. So the first one will go straight up. And then we'll come over here to this straight one, and that will go diagonally to the same pin. Come up to the next cap band. The first one here will go diagonally down to the left, like that. Go back in where the cap band was and bring that one straight up. And then this one will go diagonally up to the right where we just put the last one. So continue doing this up the loom and just take your time. Okay, so I've just finished my last one, and this is what it should be looking like. So we are going to come back down to the beginning, And the next thing we're going to be doing is looping our black V's. And we're just going to be going into the cap band and looping them back to themselves. So this part's very easy. So we're going to push this top cap band out of the way. Grab the top band, which will go back to itself, which is diagonally to the left. Go back in this pin here. Grab the next diagonal band, and that will go up to the right. Come up to your next V. Go in the cap band, loop the top one to the left, and the second one to the right. So this part is very simple. We're just looping all of our diagonal V's out. Like so. So now I would definitely take a second and go through and push those bands down, and then we can start looping the next step. Alrighty, so now we are going to loop our red bands, but not the two horizontal in the centers. We're just going to be working with they're like an upside down L on the sides, and I'm going to start on the left. So we are going to start right here on the corner pin. Push the cap band out of the way. There's only one band left on that pin. And that band will come to the right like this. The next one, it's a horizontal band going like this. It's my red one. It's the bottom band on that pin. We're going to loop that straight. So there is quite a few bands that you have to push out of the way to grab the bottom one. And that will just get looped straight up like that. We'll go back into that same pin, and now it is a straight red band that we're grabbing. That will go to the right, just like we did down here. So this is the one we just looped. So come up to the next one. It's that red horizontal, the bottom band. That will go straight. And if you haven't picked up on it yet, we're alternating by looping one out to the right and then the next one up. So now we'll go in here and loop that to the right. The next pin, we will loop straight. That one we will loop to the right. The next one we will loop straight. And keep alternating. You see this pin here has the cap band on it. I don't know if you can actually see that from above, but if you look down, you can see it has the cap band. If you ever get confused or worried if you messed up, the pin that has the cap band in there, when you loop that red band, it should always go to the right. And then the next one will go straight. And the last one is this one right here, the second from the top. Bring that into the right. And we're not going to do anything right here just yet. We'll do that at the end. So this is what your loom should be looking like. And we're going to repeat the same thing on the right side. So the bottom right hand corner, you go in that cap band and grab the bottom band, and that will go towards the left. Come up to the next pin, and that will go straight up. Go into that same pin, bring it to the left. Go up to the next one, and that one will go up. And we continue alternating like so. My last one comes inwards. We don't do anything up there just yet. And we'll come back to the beginning. And we are going to be looping the straight green one. And then we will loop the horizontal, and we'll continue alternating. So the first thing we'll do is go inside this cap band right here. There's only one band left on that pin, and you will bring that straight, like so. Then we'll go into this pin right here. There's quite a few bands that you have to push out of the way to get to the very bottom layer. And you will bring that into the center. And repeat that for the right side. Like so. We'll go now into that same pin. Push everything out of the way to get to the bottom band, which is my green. Loop that straight. Now this time we're going to do things just a little bit different because we do alternate. Every time we're on the pin that has the black cap band V, we need to reach into that little circle. There's not a whole lot of room, but right here, you're going to reach into that, and you need to grab the top part of that red horizontal band. So reach back here, right here, grab the top horizontal band right here, and you're just going to pull it over, and you got to kind of pull it a little bit hard to get it up and over and let it go. We have to go back in and do the same thing to the right horizontal one. So go in this little space. You don't need to go too far down, but just enough to grab the back of that band and pull it over the pin and let it go. Once you do that, we will now loop the right side of that band. So go right here. Push the top layers out of the way so that you can get to the bottom of that red band, and that will loop straight up. Repeat on the left side. The left one's a little bit harder to grab, in my opinion. You have to be finesse kind of with your hook. If you go too far down, then you will push the band out of the way that you're trying to grab. So just take your time, do it slowly, and then loop that forward. We now need to back up, come to this pin here, and loop the bottom green forward, like so. And now we are going to loop these horizontal bands. And now this time, they will be looped in. So push all of these bands out of the way, grab the very bottom band, bring it in. Repeat on the right side. Bring it in. Loop up the very bottom green band. And we're ready to start this section again. So this one has the circle and the V band. So you're going to put your hook inside that cap band. Grab the top red band or whatever color you use for the horizontal ones. Bring it over and let go. Go back in there. Grab that band, flip it over and let go. Come over here and loop this side of the red band and loop that up like so. Come back to the middle and loop up your bottom green band. if you can tell, we alternate between bringing it in, bringing it straight, bringing it in, and then this one we brought straight. So we continue alternating like that all the way up. We just brought this one straight up. We already brought the middle up. Now we will bring that row in, like so. Loop up your bottom green in the middle. And repeat. Go into your circle, grab the back of the horizontal bands. I can't see the band when I reach in there. I just feel around with my hook. Once I grab it, I just flip it over. Then loop the other side of those horizontal bands straight up. Don't forget to loop this center green up. And this is where we will bring the center, or excuse me, the horizontals into the center. I actually usually start on the left side though. Like so. So we are going to keep repeating this. You can follow along. Every time we do the section that we're flipping it over in the center, remember that these will be looped up. On the rows that we do not have the V's, we bring them in. Or the circle, I mean. We bring them in, which is what we will do on this one, but we first got to bring up the center. Okay, so that seemed to take a little while. I'll probably fast forward it through editing, but hopefully that wasn't too difficult for you guys. So now we are going to loop the top closed. So all we're going to do is bring the bottom band in 2 times on the left, like that, and then bring both in to the center on the right. Now you will get your C-clip, and we are going to grab that loose band that we laid there at the beginning, go inside the center pin, grab the bottom band and bring both ends together, and attach your C-clip. It is important for this design to use your hook to remove the whole thing. I noticed it gets way too stretched out and messy if you just pull it off of the loom. So take your time. You just did all that work. I highly recommend taking your time, going through and removing all of the sides with your hook, both sides, and then go row by row like this with your hook, and do that all the way up. You already have these done, because I'm going to do the whole sides like this. And then you'll just have the 3 middles that you'll have to go like this to remove. I highly recommend doing that if you want your bracelet to come out nice, neat, and clean. I'm going to get mine removed, and I'll show you it when I pull it off. Okay, so I have mine off of the loom. I like to give it a good stretch just to help things fall into place. Sometimes I even go left to right a little bit if I feel the need. So you're going to locate your C-clip at the top, and your cap band is tucked down here tightly at the end. And you know, I did forget to actually have you guys do a double cap band on the last one instead of a triple. It's easier to get the C-clip into it. So I do apologize about that, but at least it will give you extra sturdiness. So you can use your hook like I just did, and then attach your C-clip like so. And that's it. There you have my completed Eiffel bracelet. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully the center looping was not too challenging for you guys. Let me know down below what you guys think of this design. If you do make one, tag me on Instagram under Loves to Loom. I do love seeing your creations. I know I haven't been able to upload as often as I was when I first came back, but I will continue to get them out to you. It just may take a little more time. I will see you guys all very soon at my next video. Thanks, guys. Bye.